Destiny. Thousands of years ago, there lived a sage on the banks of the river Ganga. He had many disciples. This sage could perform many miracles. A fine day, he was sitting in front of his ashram and meditating when an eagle flew over him. It had a small mouse caught between its claws. Accidentally, the mouse freed itself from the clutches of the eagle and fell upon the lap of the sage. The sage's meditation was naturally disrupted. He opened his eyes and gently caressed the little mouse on his lap. He then used his paws and converted the mouse into a little girl. This girl was very pretty. The sage took her to his wife and said, "Dear wife, you have always wanted a child for yourself. That's why I have brought this little girl for you. You are now her mother. Give her all your affection." The sage's wife was very happy and assured her husband that she would rear the child as her own. The girl grew up prettier and at 16 attained the age of marriage. One day, the sage's wife suggested to her husband that they look for a suitable match for their daughter. Agreeing with his wife, the sage said, "The sun god to the earth and request him to marry a daughter." The sun god came to the earth and asked the sage, "Oh sage, why did you invite me to earth? What can I do for you?" Delighted at this offer, the sage requested the sun god to marry his daughter, and the sun also agreed to this. But the sage's daughter, who could not withstand sun's brightness, refused. "Father, I cannot marry him. Even the rocks will melt with sun's heat. I don't want to turn into ash." The sage felt sad at this refusal, but he was desperate to have his daughter married, and therefore he requested the sun god to suggest a suitable groom. Smilingly, Surya said, "The cloud is stronger than me, as it can cross my race. Why don't you ask the cloud to marry your daughter?" He then returned to his abode. The sage prayed to the king of the clouds, and the next moment this king appeared before the sage. "Why did you call me? What I can do for you?" he asked. Cheered by his presence, the sage requested him, "O king of the clouds, I have a very pretty daughter. I want to get her married. Will you please marry her?" Even before the king of the clouds could answer, the sage's daughter intervened. "Father, I cannot marry him. I feel scared even to look at his dark, powerful person. His thunders will also kill me. Please look for somebody else." The sage did not know what to do, so he requested the king of clouds to suggest a suitable husband for the girl. The king of clouds laughed and said, "O pious one, Vayu, the god of winds, is more powerful than I am. He can make me float away. Please approach him." At this suggestion, the sage prayed to Vayu, the wind god, and on his appearance requested him to marry the girl. But again, the girl was adamant on the ground that she could not lead any life with a wanderer like the wind. The sage was displeased with his daughter's attitude, but still he requested the wind god to suggest any other groom for her. "O sage, the mountain king will be the ideal husband for your daughter. You approach him right now." The wind god advised the sage and disappeared. The mountain king also respected the sage's wishes to wed his daughter, but the sage's daughter found yet another excuse to reject the proposal by saying, "Father, I do not want to marry a stone hearted person. Please look for someone who is soft hearted. He need not be mighty. The sage had to beg for forgiveness, and the mountain king advised him in a kind tone. Don't be dejected. Feel that your daughter will be happy to marry a mouse, because only a mouse can bore a hole through me. Delighted at this idea, the sage immediately brought a mouse. And as soon as saw the mouse, the sage's daughter hugged her father, saying, Father, I want to marry this groom. Her father nodded his head. Well, my child, with my miracle powers, I changed you into a human being from a mouse. But I could only change your form. I could not change your destiny. Anyway, all that matters is your happiness, said the sage, and changed the girl into a mouse again. He had brought up a mouse as his own daughter, but he could only get her married to a mouse. The moral is nothing can change anybody's destiny.